Agriculture is a huge part of the Illinois State Fair, and tonight will be one of the biggest events for it with the Governor's Sale of Champions. Our Matt Bednar was at the fairgrounds all morning, and he spoke with a honey farmer set to take part in that event.
Hey everyone, we're in the Illinois building at the State Fairs, and I'm joined with Jaron, and he's here with bee culture. So tell me a little bit about how you got into beehives and taking care of bees.
I got started into beekeeping as part of a homeschool project because we found it to be a very effective way to start teaching business principles and business ethics when you start looking at how you process the honey. And it was pretty easy to get into. You can even do it in the cities. We started with about 5 hives, and by the end of the summer we had 20 and just kept growing from there.
Awesome, and you guys are going to be participating in the Sales of Champions today.
Yes, we are.
And tell me a little bit about what you guys got.
We have a Grand Champion 2.5 pound chunk honey for sale. It's going to be at the auction this evening, and we're hoping it does really well. This is liquid honey with comb honey in it, and that is what you see there with the squares in that. That is comb honey in liquid.
That looks really tasty, and you guys are also with participate and do stuff with Scouts. Tell me a little about that.
I really enjoy the local Sea Scout program. I am with Ship 123 here in Springfield, Illinois, and we like to go sailing out on Tuesdays. And if you have any questions about the Sea Scouts or what all we do, you can reach out to Abraham Lincoln Council.
And is there anywhere that people could find more information about you guys?
Specifically, I am with Sea Scout Ship 123, and I'm also with Venturing Crew 2138.
Awesome. And thank you guys, and thank you. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Matt. And we'll have more coverage on the Governor's Sale of Champions on News Channel 20 tonight. You can also get your News Channel 20 news delivered straight to your inbox. Sign up now for the newsletter at newschannel20.com. The State Fair continues with Republican Day tomorrow. GOP lawmakers from across the state will be hosting special guests throughout the day. Other highlights include the Society Horse Show, as well as sheep and cattle shows. And of course, the usual fair events will still be happening, such as the Dog Stunt Show and shows by yesterday's guest, Cardini the Magician. And there's still plenty to see at the grandstand as the fair rolls on as well. Snoop Dogg takes the stage tonight, followed by country star Brad Paisley on Thursday, and then indie rock duo The Chainsmokers perform Friday night. For a full list of grandstand events, head over to statefair.illinois.gov.
Thank you, Cheryl. Now let's head to the State Fair. That's where we'll find Dawn and Stacy tonight. Hey, ladies, how's it going?
Hi. We have our sunglasses on because although the temperature's a few degrees cooler, it's still hot and sunny out.
And we're facing the sun right now. So it is Governor's Day here at the State Fair, and it is starting to get packed.
It is, because of course we've got Snoop Dogg coming, and we've been wandering around, but a lot of people here for Governor's Day. Governor J.B. Pritzker, he was hosting today the state leaders at the fair. The Governor's Hometown Awards just wrapped up at the Illinois building, and then today is also, of course, the Governor's Sale of Champions, which our Eliza Petrie's going to bring us more on that. We're going to check in with her live just a little bit later.
And a major highlight of Governor's Day at the parade is having the country welcome 400 new citizens right here at our state capitals. Those sworn in hail from more than 70 countries across the globe. Elected officials from Illinois were in attendance to welcome those new citizens.
Thank God, because most of all I thank God because it was an easy process for me. I'm support from my wife and family just to make sure I dot the I's correctly. It could be very stressful trying to make sure you do everything correctly, but I thank God I was good here.
Cool. We want to congratulate all of our newest fellow Americans on their accomplishments. Also happening today, country music star Hunter Flynn is having a free concert at the Grand Central Stage, which is right there, and at 7:30 p.m.
And then, of course, the big draw tonight, everyone talking about, yep, Snoop Dogg. I wish we could stay around and watch it.
I do too.
I know, but that's coming up. Gates open at 7. The show starts at 8, and it is going to get packed, so make sure to plan ahead.
That's right. And SIU School of Medicine is helping provide emergency care at the State Fair. This is to help ease the pressure off of local EMS services.
They'll be at first aid stations to help with minor things like providing Band-Aids, more serious experiences or issues like heat-related illnesses, blisters, or allergic reactions.
Okay, yeah, and then, you know, the state police are here for the kids. If they get lost, they just go stop and get a wristband. really neat setup they have out here for anybody who needs any sort of help. And it is so much hotter again today that my guess is the concert, it's going to be busy.
It's going to be very busy, starting
with
to.
the EMS.
Yeah, I think so. You know, there's a nice breeze here. There's a lot going on, bands, a lot of free things that we've mentioned throughout the week. And we're going to be checking in on some more of those things coming up.
All right, we'll send it back to you in the studio for now, Carly.
Thank you, Dawn and Stacy. We'll check back in with them later in the show. And for more State Fair coverage, stay with us on air and online throughout the fair. Also follow us on social media for all the fun behind the scenes.
Welcome back. We are live at the Illinois State Fair, and tonight it's a big night for exhibitors. And tonight is the Sale of Champions, of course, which is an auction of all the grand champion commodities, livestock of the fair. And it's just, man, these animals are amazing.
They are, and if you've walked around the different stables, you see the FFA, you see the 4-H members, you see all of them that work so hard, these children. And we want to send it over to the Coliseum and our Eliza Petrie, who is in the middle of the Governor's Sale of Champions. Eliza?
Yes, Dawn and Stacey, I'm here in the Coliseum for the Governor's Sale of Champions. They just wrapped up the food and beverage auction part of selling those commodities. The best in show here at the State Fairgrounds is being sold tonight. So I'll move out of your way here so you can kind of take a look, and I can tell you what they're selling for here this evening. The Grand Champion cheese has gone for $1,000 this evening. Chocolate milk for $650, bacon for $850, and also that wine this year went for $925. So a big night so far. They're just getting started. The big auction item that a lot of people are here for is the Grand Champion steer, and they broke a record last year with $110,000 sold for that steer. So be sure to tune in at 6, and we'll see if we have that sold just yet. Reporting at the Coliseum, back to you.
Sponsored by Illinois Pork Producers.
Welcome back. We are live at the Illinois State Fair. Dawn and you, the two of us, we've spent 4 days out at the fair and the parade. We've been eating a lot of the food and, of course, lemon shake-ups.
Of course, and I got my favorite, Coleman's lemon orange shake-up. That's my favorite.
I had the Mihans, and it was so good.
Yeah, so we are lemon shake-up out for now, but we are definitely planning on dinner, and maybe you are too if you're headed out here tonight. So we're going to see what's cooking at the pork patio with our Darren Leeds.
Yeah, and of course, fair food is a big attraction, but also the pork patio has some great food as well. Everything pork here. We've got pork twisters, chop on a stick, pork burgers, and they've got a new item this year, and that is pulled pork on top of macaroni and cheese. And to talk about everything here at the pork patio, I have Director of Marketing for Illinois Pork Producers, Michaela Schaefer. Michaela, how have things been going so far out here at the Illinois State Fair for you guys?
Yeah, things have been going really great. We've had a really good turnout, lots of people coming out, and people really love the new pulled pork mac and cheese.
Now, do you say being across from the grandstands is a kind of a big draw around dinner time and before concerts for you guys?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Everybody wants to come get some food before they go out and enjoy the concert, so we've had a great turnout.
And what is your personal favorite on the menu?
Honestly, my favorite is the pork chop sandwich.
That is a good one, and you know, the pork burger is great as well. How have people kind of been responding to the pulled pork mac and cheese this year?
Yeah, people love it. It's something that it's one of the first things that we run out of every night, so people are always super bummed, but we always tell them to come back the next day and we'll make some more.
All right. And of course, yes, if you are hungry, Pork Patio is a great place to grab some food just before concert time, again located directly across from the grandstands. Reporting live from the Pork Patio, meteorologist Darren Leeds. Dawn, Stacy, back to you.
Welcome back. There is lots of food as you think about, you know, the corn dogs, the cotton candy. But if you're looking for something unique, the Village of Culture.
It certainly is. You know, that has my favorite sandwich of all time, the falafel sandwich at the Mediterranean. And of course, I got more popcorn for my kid because this is the last day that I'm here. So this is it for me in cotton candy this year. And we're going to show you meteorologist Matt Bednar shares where you can find a little bit of everything in that Village of Cultures.
Hey everyone, I'm meteorologist Matt Bednar here, and if you take a look behind me at that pavilion, you might see a whole different variety of national flags, and that's because we're in the Village of Cultures. It's right next to the Expo building, behind the governor's tent, and this is a great spot to get a diverse types of cuisine. We're seeing anything from Mediterranean, Indian, Polish, Jamaican, Cuban, African food, and it smells delicious. So if you want something that might be a little bit of a different taste, come out here to the Village of Cultures and try out all the different cuisines. And there's a beverage station right here. Get an alcoholic one as well as just a regular soft drink here at the state fairgrounds. So make sure you're coming to the Village of Cultures and trying it all out. Reporting from the fairgrounds, I'm meteorologist Matt Bednar. Back to you.
Thanks, Matt. And you can find that right as you walk in. You pass the big yellow slide. Right past that on Main Street is the, yeah.
Correct. And you know what? Don't forget there's a lot of live music tonight. We have Hunter Flynn, who starts at the Grand Central Stage at 7:30. Is free. And then Snoop Dogg starts at 8 o'clock at the grandstand.
And we're going to inch our way towards there as we get closer to concert time. For now, reporting live at the Illinois State Fair. We're going to send it back to you in the studio, Carly.
All right. Thanks, Cheryl. It is going to be toasty. It's toasty now, but we have switched directions because so many people are coming in now to start getting some food and then head to the grandstand for Snoop Dogg. And of course, it's a huge one tonight with Snoop Dogg. And then there's also the Sale of Champions happening.
Of course, a lot going on. Well, another big crowd, as you mentioned, Snoop Dogg. We're seeing so much in the last hour since we saw you at 5 o'clock. I mean, it has at least doubled the number of people. Another concert, that one tonight. State Fair attendance, by the way, was broken, the record, by Megan Maroney. Dawn, you were at that Sunday with over 15,500 fans. Don't forget, though, if you are heading down to the new grandstand policies, you got to make sure you got to a certain size for bags. You've got to go through the metal detector. So make sure you know the policies for tonight.
Yes, and there's still one more free day for the Illinois State Fair. Friday is First Responders and Healthcare Hero Day, and those in professions can get in for free with the proper ID. And that evening, the chain smokers will be over at the grandstand, and you can try out Golden Abe's People Choice Awards at the Expo building.
Well, today's Governor's Day, major day. Sale of Champions. Our Eliza spent the night. We're going to be touching in with her in just a bit. Also on the agenda was the Governor's Hometown Awards and the Illinois State Auctioneer Championship.
And another highlight of Governor's Day is welcoming 400 new citizens to the United States of America right here in Springfield at the State Fair. Those sworn in hail from more than 70 countries across the globe. Elected officials from Illinois were in attendance to welcome all those new citizens.
Thank God, because most of all, I thank God because it was an easy process for me. I'm support from my wife and family just to make sure I dot the I's correctly. It could be very stressful trying to make sure you do everything correctly, but I thank God I was good. Yeah.
Congratulations to all the new citizens who were sworn in today. And tomorrow is Republican Day at the Illinois State Fair, where Illinois Republicans will host party leaders and guests from around the state. Also happening tomorrow is the Society Horse Show, as well as Brad Paisley at the grandstand.
Love him. All right. Well, big part, as we've mentioned, the Governor's Sale of Champions. If you've headed down here, you know that these young children and teenagers, they're raising this livestock from birth up, and they are selling them off, and it all goes to a good cause.
And I had a chance to talk to a couple of them yesterday, and they're just so well spoken. It really does transform these kids into business people, really.
And our ag expert, as we like to say, because she's a well-spoken farm girl, our Eliza Petrie's at the Sale of Champions. Let's head over to her.
Love her.
Yes, Dawn and Stacy, I'm here in the Coliseum where actually the Governor's Sale of Champions just wrapped up literally moments ago. So tonight they auctioned off the best in show when it comes to our commodities and all of our Grand Champion livestock. So I will be coming up, give you more information about all of us had the questions of the Grand Champion steer, if it would go for another record number like it did last year. Coming up later in the show, I'll let you know.
All right. Thanks so much, Eliza. I mean, it is getting loud. We've got people behind us trying to get in their shot. So we're hopeful that it's going to be calm here.
Oh, it's not going to be.
It's a blast.
They're actually, when I was at Megan Maroney, they had said about the concert for Snoop Dogg that they're prepared for a wild night. Lots of people with Snoop shirts coming on in right now.
For now, we're going to send it back to you in the studio, Carly.
This segment sponsored by Illinois Pork Producers.
Well, Welcome back. It's dinner time here at the Illinois State Fair. Our stomachs grumbling. We're trying to pick out what we want to eat.
I know, because after this, we are going to find some food.
Yes.
You know what? One of the good things, and Cheryl isn't there today, you notice she's in the studio keeping cool, is the pork patio. She's normally out there, but today we have Darren Leeds out there. Darren, what's happening?
Hey, Dawn, Stacy. Yeah, I've been kind of running my way through the menu here. We've got the pulled pork mac and cheese. And if this doesn't make you hungry, I don't know what will. I'm trying to figure out a way for me to kind of dive into it just one-handed. But joining me is Director of Marketing for the Illinois Pork Producers, Michaela Schaefer. And Michaela, talk to me about just how this season's been going for you guys so far.
Yeah, it's been going really great. Our team has been working hard, and we really appreciate all the volunteers that help us. Even some of the cashiers are actually producers themselves.
Okay.
And so you guys do your Pork Power fundraiser every year, giving back to Illinois food banks. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so at the pork patio, we're actually selling the t-shirt. This is it. And all that money goes back to our Pork Power program, where we send ground pork to 9 regional food banks, and then they send it off throughout the state.
And how many pounds did you tell me before you guys are giving back?
Yeah, so last year alone, we gave over 150,000 pounds, and then overall, since starting in 2008, we've given over 1 million pounds of ground pork.
So a very successful program for you guys here. We've got Snoop Dogg coming in tonight. Do you think those people are going to be hungry?
Absolutely. Definitely, before you come to the concert, grab some food.
All right. Well, yes, we have got some great food here, again, including the new menu item, pulled pork, macaroni, and cheese. Reporting live at the pork patio, meteorologist Darren Leeds. Back to you.
I'm hungry. That mac and cheese looks good.
Yeah, and I always love that sandwich.
You like the pork chop?
tenderloin sandwich, yes.
All right, we're going to find some more food coming up. Let's send it back to the studio.
Yes, I'm here at the Coliseum where the Governor's Sale of Champions wrapped up literally just minutes ago, and this auction, it auctions off the grand champion commodities and livestock that were awarded here at the fairgrounds. They started with food and beverage, and cheese was going for $1,000, wine went for $925, and bacon went for $650, which all this money, a majority of it, goes back to these exhibitors. A lot of the people, when they show up here tonight, they want to see the livestock auctioned off, and the grand champion steer is usually that auction item that people are here to see. Last year, the grand champion steer won a new record, by being sold for $110,000. And this year, M.K. Pritzker and Governor Pritzker announced that they would be buying the steer for $105,000, which they have been doing for the last couple of years. So a record was not broken this year, because last year the family and friends of the grand champion steer came together to raise an extra $5,000. But still an awesome thing that happened here at the auction this evening. And that grand champion steer will be donated out to local food banks here in Illinois. So a great night for 4-H and a great night for ag here at the fair. Reporting live at the Coliseum, Eliza Petrie, back to you.
All right, thanks, Eliza, and a great night to come eat here, as we've been just working our way through the fair food for the last few days.
We have, but we haven't had a chance to get real food. It's really tight in between when we're on here and then to stand in line to get.
So that's the next step. Now, these are the cookies we were trying earlier. These are right as you walk through the tunnel, and you see it's homemade cookies, local company, Peoria Family. It's a family business, and they are delicious.
She puts one in my hand, and I can't not eat it before we come back on.
Yeah, as you can see, a lot of people here. We are getting photobombed, as they're telling us, because it is getting ready for the concert. They're opening the gates soon, and Snoop Dogg tonight, 8 o'clock.
And then there's, of course, a country act that's happening over at the Grand Central Stage for free at 7:30. So a lot of people coming in for that and for food and for fun.
Yeah, because there is a lot going on. So even if you're not coming down to the concert, there's, you've got the carnival midway, but then you have a lot of the different free events and shows, stuff going on. Or come down, great people watching. I love seeing, you know what I love? I am seeing a lot of Snoop fans, and you've got the young, but then you've got the older. We're middle-aged moms that listen to him in the 90s, and you see the different shirts, and I love it, the different generations.
And I want to say to everybody who's at home watching, thank you so much for saying hi. This is the last time out here for this week, and thank you so much.
We have had so much fun getting to know the viewers, seeing people, and we just love hearing from all of you.
Thank you, Cheryl. And it was another exciting day at the State Fairgrounds, with one of the biggest events being held at the Coliseum. Our Eliza Petrie was at tonight's Sale of Champions and has all the action from the auction.
Yes, the Governor's Sale of Champions is the biggest night for exhibitors of the Illinois State Fair. They come together to auction off the grand champion commodities and livestock. At the Sale of Champions this year, some of those commodities went for cheese, went for $1,000, bacon went for $650, wine $925. And one of the big ticket items that people come to see when they want to go to the Sale of Champions is that Grand Champion steer. Usually every year, M.K. Pritzker and Governor Pritzker announced that they are going to buy the Grand Champion steer, and that happened yet again this year. They announced they would be buying that steer for $105,000. It did not break a record this year because while they did the same thing last year, a family and friends of the Grand Champion steer owners came together and raised another $5,000, but still a great evening for livestock exhibitors, people of the ag industry. That Grand Champion steer will be donated to local food banks in the area to give back to our local communities. Reporting at the Coliseum, Eliza Petrie, back to you.
Thank you, Eliza, and congratulations to all the big winners at tonight's Sale of Champions. And today was Governor's Day at the State Fair. Democratic lawmakers calling out Republicans in Washington over what they call broken promises from the Trump administration. During the Illinois Democratic County Chairs Association brunch this morning, officials working to rally the party while touting policies that they say make Illinois, quote, the blueprint.
We've protected women's reproductive rights. We've banned assault weapons. We passed the Workers' Rights Amendment. And we enacted nation-leading climate legislation to put us on a path to a clean energy future.
Lawmakers also speaking out against taxes and inflation and how the rising cost is impacting the people of Illinois. Tomorrow's Republican Day at the Illinois State Fair, where Illinois Republicans host party leaders and guests from around the state. Also happening tomorrow, the Society Horse Show will take place, as well as Brad Paisley at the grandstand. Activists pushing for rent control also made their voices heard at the State Fair Day. Supporters came together for a Lift the Ban rally in an effort to push the General Assembly to support rent control in Illinois. Organizers say the Lift the Ban movement is about making sure housing is affordable for everyone. Several Illinois lawmakers also took part in today's rally.
I've been knocking doors, having conversations with my neighbors and my constituents, since I got inaugurated back in January, and the rising cost of housing is very clearly the top priority.
Right now, there's a bill in the House which would give rent control power back to local governments and repeal the Rent Control Preemption Act of 1997. It was a day of celebration for nearly 400 new American citizens. As part of the Governor's Day festivities, a naturalization ceremony was held at the state fairgrounds. Individuals taking part in the ceremony came from more than 70 different countries. Today's ceremony was the second such ceremony held at the state fairgrounds.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch more videos from News Channel 20.